All right, we are back. So I guess the internet had a hiccup or whatever. It hiccuped on me and cut it off. So I had to restart. Well, good grief. Had to restart everything. So let's try this again. Give it a minute for people to get back on here. So there's a dozen people on here, and so Eric Tackett, you all right, babe? What, did you drop something on your toes? What was it? What was it?
You okay?
Is it your phone?
No, it was Brianna's. I moved her purse. It was her portable charger, that little heavy piece of
Oh,
metal.
that's even worse.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, everybody. So let's see. I'm getting there, Sally. I'm still pretty weak and stuff, walking on shaky legs and everything. Like, if this is how I feel at 90, I'm really hoping Yeshua comes back way before then. But my amazing and marvelous, wonderful wife, she's been taking such good care of me. I don't know what I'd do without her. It'd be all on my own. All right, so it looks like everybody. So let's try again. So we are on day 9, Jeremiah 9, and may Yah rebuke any more internet hiccup interruptions. All right. Oh, that my head were waters, and my eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place for travelers, that I might leave my people and go from them. For they are all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And like their bow, they have bent their tongues for lies. And what I was saying, I stopped right there when I was on the previous attempt of this, is I find it interesting of that type of analogy because I've gone bow and arrow hunting and got 11-point buck. It's my own little joy in that when I was 11. So, me and my dad did. And when you know what a bow, you pull and you have a lot of tension. You know, it's not like it's just something simple. You're just going to go like this. You got to hold it and you got to bring it. And you've got anywhere from 30-pound bow all the way up to 100-pound bow, and even some higher than that. And then you have compound bows, which are really great. And man, those things can really have tension till you get to a certain spot, and then it just kind of gives where you're able to hold it. But you got all that tightness, and to imagine that their bow, they have bent their tongues. I'm sorry, like their bow, they have bent their tongues for lies. And to understand the analogy of what's being said there is a bow is going to come with force. It has the intentions of piercing whatever it's going to hit, has the intentions of going through and killing whatever it's going to hit. And what's being said here is that very same thing, is that an assembly of treacherous men, and their bow, like their bow, they have bent their tongues for lies, with the intention of destruction is the intent of their heart. Their purpose is by what they are going to say and lie about. They want to destroy whoever or whatever it is that they're lying about. They are not valiant for the truth on earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they do not know me, says Yehovah. Everyone take heed to his neighbor, and do not trust any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanderers. Everyone will deceive his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies. They weary themselves to commit iniquity. Your dwelling place is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, says Yehovah. Therefore, thus says Yehovah Tzvaot, behold, I will refine them and try them. For how shall I deal with the daughter of my people? Their tongue is an arrow shot out. It speaks deceit. One speaks peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in his heart he lies in wait. Shall I not punish them for these things, says Yehovah? Shall I not avenge myself on such a nation as this? I will take up a weeping and wailing for the mountains, and for the dwelling places of the wilderness a lamentation, because they are burned up so that no one can pass through, nor can men hear the voice of the cattle. Both the birds of the heavens and the beasts have fed. They are gone. I will make Yerushalayim a heap of ruins, a den of jackals. I will make the cities of Yehuda desolate without inhabitant. Who is the wise man who may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of Yehovah has spoken, that he may declare it? Why does the land perish and burn up like a wilderness, so that no one can pass through? Yehovah said, because they have forsaken my Torah, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, nor walked according to it, but they have walked according to the dictates of their own hearts, and after the Baals, which their fathers taught them. Therefore, thus says Yehovah Tzvaot, the Elohim of Yisrael, behold, I will feed them, this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. I will scatter them also among the Goyim, whom neither they nor their fathers have known. I will send a sword after them until I have consumed them. Thus says Yehovah Tzvaot, consider and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for skillful wailing women, that they may come. Let them make haste and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run with tears, and that our eyelids gush with water. Real quick, this is talking about a reference to bringing back the redemption of Yah to Yisrael. And I can't help but think of my wife in this, because I have never known anybody, when it comes to the sins of this nation, when it comes to what's going on, when it comes to, the rockets, when it comes to people being hurt or killed, any of these things, I've never seen anybody weep for the people of this land like I've seen my wife do. I mean, my wife's Jewish all day long. Her mom and family, if that ain't Jewish, I don't know what is. And I think there's that special thing because of the fact that she is, her family's descendants do come back to Israel. And the way that she has wept and even wailed for this nation and the people and the land and the sin and the brokenness, but not just that, but what it does to Yah and how it breaks her heart for what it does against Yehovah. And that's what this is talking about, Mishpachah. I mean, ladies, and for us men, we need to pray that Yehovah gives us a spirit of anguish, not just for the land, but for the sin all around us, wherever you live, whatever nation you're in. We need to ask Yah to give us a spirit of anguish, to give us a spirit of weeping for the sin that surrounds us and is around us. How else are people going to be saved if we truly are not tore up for what is grieving the heart of Yehovah? We need to ask Yah. It's easy to be in ministry or do stuff ministerially, if that's a word, but it sounds good. To do stuff in that when everything is cool and smooth and you don't have to be all emotional in it, or, when you feel like you're being touched by the Holy Spirit and and you have a touchy moment, and you have some tears in your eyes. That's all easy. But what is hard is to have that burden in your heart that is on Yah's heart. To have a burden and a spirit of anguish for the wickedness and the evil around you. Just as the disciples like the prophets, Jeremiah, as we're reading from, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Samuel, and others, Daniel, they wept. Ezra, and these men wept, they anguished for what? The sin of Israel against Jehovah. They wept and wept. Some would weep for days, drinking no water, eating no food, and just weep unto Yah. Please have mercy. Even Moshe, the anguish in his heart was so heavy for Yah, because Yah was at a point that he's like, leave them. I'm going to wipe them out, and I'm going to start fresh, and I'll have you lead the new people, kind of thing. And he pleaded with Yah, please don't do this. You have shown the earth, you have shown the lands, you have shown them by your mighty hand that you are the God of Israel and brought them out of Egypt. Do not bring them into the desert and destroy them for nothing. And he said, if it please you, take my name from your book. The book of life is what he's talking about. Take my name from that, but spare them. That was the depth of Moses' anguish for Israel, that he was willing to sacrifice his eternal salvation with Jehovah, his eternal presence with Yah. He was willing to have his name taken out of the book of life. We need to be this way, Mishpachah. We go about our lives and everything else, and how much are we really worried about our families that are going to hell? How much are we really concerned about the loss in our families, in our neighborhood, in our congregations, in the church, or whatever it is? How much do we really worry? How much of it really takes up our day? How much time do we really spend on our face, prostrate before Jehovah, saying, please save them, have mercy on them, deliver them? How many of us, Mishpachah, would even contemplate saying, take my name out of the book, your book of life, but spare them and save them? Something to think about. Verse 18, let them make haste and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run with tears and our eyelids gush with water. For a voice of wailing is heard from Zion. How we are plundered. We are greatly ashamed, because we have forsaken the land, because we have been cast out of our dwellings. Yet hear the word of Jehovah, O women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth. He is crying out for the women because the men ain't doing their job. The priests ain't doing their job. He is crying out for the women to hear the word of Jehovah and to wail for all of Israel. Let your ear receive the word of his mouth. Teach your daughters wailing, and everyone, her neighbor, a lamentation. For death has come through our windows, has entered our palaces, to kill off the children, no longer to be outside, and the young man no longer on the streets. Speak, thus says Yehovah. Even the carcasses of men shall fall as refuse on the open field, like cutting after the harvester, and no one shall gather them. Thus says Yehovah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, let not the mighty man glory in his might, nor let the rich man glory in his riches, but let him who glories glory in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am Yehovah, exercising loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these I delight, says Yehovah. Behold, the days are coming, says Yehovah, that I will punish all who are circumcised with the uncircumcised. Mitzrayim, Yehuda, Edom, the people of Ammon and Moab, and all who are in the farthest corners who dwell in the wilderness, for all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Yisrael are uncircumcised in the heart. Wow. That's a powerful message in that chapter 9. So Mishpachah, as you go about the day today or wherever you're at, as you get ready to go to bed, ponder on this chapter. Think about it. Think about what it means. And seek from Yah, where is my place in this, Father? You want me to weep, teach me, and show me. Give me the spirit of anguish. Give me your burden that is in your heart, and lay that burden in my heart, so that I may wail, so that I may weep for the salvation of all those around me. Amen. So I love you, Mishpachah. I hope you all have an awesome and blessed day, or are getting ready to go to sleep. Have a blessed night's sleep. But most of all, Yah loves you. Shalom, shalom.